Well, continuing the conversation about this most astonishing fall from grace, multi-billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, went from being worth $12 billion to effectively broke in 1 week. What went wrong that day, and why does this seem to keep on happening? Well, let's bring in someone well qualified to shed some light on all of this. The OG, the original Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. Jordan, thanks for joining us. This story is just so fascinating to me because it keeps happening, but the magnitude and the speed at which this thing fell apart. How do you see this? I see it as a Ponzi scheme. How do you play this? How does this play out in your world?
So it's not really a Ponzi scheme in the traditional sense. What it is just basic theft. So let me give you the perfect equivalent here. Imagine if you're using JP Morgan Chase as your bank account, and you deposit your money there, you have your savings there, you do some trading there, and then you find out that your money actually wasn't in your account, but Jamie Dimon decided that, hey, I'll figure out I'm going to use my deposit as money for my personal whims, and he took the money, went to Vegas and started gambling or doing wild trading with your money. So that's what really happened. They just literally took the money from customers. They didn't segregate customer money, took it and lost it trading, spending lavishly and wildly, giving away money to the Democratic Party. I mean, you can't even write. If you wrote this in a Hollywood script, they say, "Oh, come on, it's not believable. It's not, no one's going to believe it happened." So I mean, it's really almost too insane, the virtue signaling that this guy was doing to try to paint himself as the savior for everything from climates to gender equality, you name it. This guy was for it.
Yeah, and he became this hero. He became almost like a cult hero to young people. He's 30 years old, MIT graduate, but he's got this lavish $40 million apartment in the Bahamas. He's got trading desks. I remember seeing a picture over the summer of this kid laying on beanbags when his traders have all these screens. They're trading crypto, and unbeknownst to the people whose money he's using, he's losing his shirt considerably. And then, Jordan, this girlfriend idea. This girl is 28-year-old Carolyn Ellison, never had a trading experience in her life, and she's throwing around billions of dollars of people's money. This, you're right. This is fact is stranger than fiction than this one.
So I think, as far as that goes, there's so much here. Like, for example, how could the VC professionals that do their due diligence didn't pick this up? I would have walked in this place and started laughing out loud. They were missing, I think, about probably 50 to 100 management level employees to run this place. Like, there was an absence of employees. So don't ask me how they missed that one. I'll tell you what really happens, though, with these big VCs. They don't care because typically they get out in the pump and dump. They get in very early. They pump these tokens up. And then once they start trading, they get out. Like an example of Luna, the VCs did fine and everyone else lost money. So here it just imploded so fast, they couldn't get out. But the handwriting.
Let me stop you there, because one thing I saw, this collapse happened 2 weeks ago. It happened from a Monday to a Friday. Crypto was going down. FTX started to go down. People were scrambling. Everyone just wanted to believe this couldn't possibly happen with this kid because they believed in him. Anthony Scaramucci, I've known him a long time, good friend of mine, who went all in, feet first, everything into crypto. Not everything, but you know what I'm saying. He effectively went all in on crypto, got burned badly. Let's take a soundbite. We played this a little earlier. It's worth listening to again. And I remember seeing this live. I think there's a Thursday or Friday as this thing is unfolding. Now, Scaramucci got in bed with Sam Bankman-Fried effectively in finance, did a deal with him, and Scaramucci is losing his ass with this deal. Watch Scaramucci and pay close attention to his face when he's talking. Watch.
Perhaps there was more going on than it being a rescue situation. So when I left the Bahamas in the afternoon, I was actually distressed. I don't want to call it fraud at this moment because that's actually a legal term. And none of us know, and we have to leave it up to the regulators, and we also have to give everybody a presumption of innocence. But I have to tell you, I'm distressed about it.
Yeah, so Jordan, so folks know, Anthony's fund of funds took $40 million from FTX and Bankman-Fried, and that likely has gone poof too. They're all in this together.
So one thing I'll say is that since he won't call it fraud, I won't. It's fraud. Like, I'm comfortable calling it fraud. And he said, I like Anthony Scarry. I'm a fan. Okay. Here's the thing with someone like him. My guess is what went wrong with him in terms of his investment thesis is he was probably relying on the fact that Sequoia, I'm not sure when he invested, but my guess is he probably wasn't the first person. And what happens in the same way you find like with lazy journalism, when one person writes something and every other newspaper mimics it, right, copies it without doing the research themselves, is that once someone gets like dubbed as being, oh yeah, they're safe, people don't do the due diligence they should do. So he probably let his guard down. And also there's this part that I have, that you have, Anthony has, we all want to believe in Santa Claus, and we keep forgetting. It's human nature to forget that Santa Claus does not exist. So when you see a kid like this,
final thought, Jordan, Santa Claus doesn't exist. And by the way, giving a girl with no trading experience, guy, girl, doesn't matter who they are, $2 billion to play with is insane. But let's talk just quickly about these regulators. Why aren't the regulators? Why weren't they looking in? Did it have anything to do with the $40 million that this kid dropped into coffers, re-election coffers, leading up to the 22 election? I would say yes.
Clearly, that is a very reminiscent of Bernie Madoff. In other words, where he gets in bed as the good guy. He's out there, in bed with the right people, donating to the right parties and so forth. So that played a part. But also, they just honestly suck. They just suck at what, come on. Like, they're taking a terrible approach here of like just, plotting and thinking what we should do. Step in and do something, because it's the average investor is getting destroyed while they're contemplating what to do about all this.
All right, Jordan, always good having you on, my friend. Jordan Belfort, the original, the OG, as we call him. Jordan, the OG, Wolf of Wall Street. See you again soon, my friend.